Time to do some movies and money, and Black Adam dominated at the box office with Ticket to Paradise turning in a strong performance. Our film critic Erik Childress is tracking the action. Erik, the numbers at the box office came in solid over the weekend.
That's right, Angie. Over 110 million to be precise, which is the best tally since the weekend Jordan Peele's Nope premiered towards the end of July. As for the film that made up more than half that total last weekend, I would say that Black Adam's number was a good one for theaters and an okay one for the film and studio. Now, anything below 60 million would have been a real disappointment, but not getting over 70 million feels like one as well. Now, that is going to put quite the burden on the international numbers, which may need to make up more than 400 million for Black Adam to break even. Not the note that Warner Brothers wanted to go out on in 2022. As for Ticket to Paradise, I said last week that a number over 15 million would be a good one, and that's exactly what George Clooney and Julia Roberts got, momentarily putting to bed those theories that studios aren't going to get a return on investment with big screen comedies anymore. Of course, movie star budgets being what they are, this simple comedy carries a $60 million budget, but thanks to over 80 million already made overseas, the film is already more than halfway to turning a profit, and if this film stretches its domestic dollar to 50 or maybe even 60 million itself, it bodes well for studios to keep releasing films aimed at those adult demographics.
Halloween Ends took a historic drop from its opening weekend, but then again, that film was released on the big screen and the small screen. What can you tell us?
This was not unexpected, Angie, and it is in many ways the perfect storm of ingredients that led Halloween Ends to fall from $40 million down to just $8 million. That is only the second film in history to open to more than $35 million and have a second weekend of less than 10. The other, appropriately enough, belonged to Jason Voorhees in the 2009 Friday the 13th update. Now Michael Myers can join him on the ultimate shortlist of wide releases to drop 80% in their second weekends. And it would be wrong to place all the blame on the film streaming simultaneously, but if you were considering seeing the film in theaters and heard it was as horrible as most have said, including me, chances are you would either ignore it outright or just check it out on Peacock. But it also has competition out in theaters. Non-streaming competition to boot in the form of Smile, which was in its fourth weekend and still beat last week's big number one by nearly $500,000. Now that film, which will go to streaming weeks after its initial theatrical run, is headed to pass $100 million from good old-fashioned word of mouth and having no other option than theatrical. Meanwhile, Halloween Ends is likely to top out at not much more than $65 million and cost nearly twice as much as Smile.
Halloween is coming up on Monday, and Hollywood is rolling out a new horror film this weekend. But are there other treats at the theater?
Well, the new movie you reference is called Pray for the Devil, an exorcism tale from the director of The Last Exorcism that is going to be the only PG-13 horror film in theaters this weekend, so that may draw some interest amidst the competition. You may even be seeing it with some critics, given that Lionsgate is not screening the movie for us prior to its release, which is almost always a bad sign. But living under a good sign right now is a grisly little horror film called TERRIFIER 2. Yes, that is a sequel, and to a film that did not even receive a theatrical release. This little film has been building off of not only horror fan enthusiasm, but headlines reporting how viewers are fainting and even vomiting during screenings. I cannot independently verify such reporting, as I have heard that at some festival screenings before too for other horror films, but as a result, the film has made its way into the top 10 since opening for the past 3 weeks, from 10th to 8th to 6th place, making over $5 million along the way. And this week, theaters are picking up on it for Halloween, when it will play in over 1,000 theaters nationwide. Now, heed my warning, though. While I did not vomit or faint, the film, all 138 minutes of it, is very violent. Yes, in an over-the-top horror kind of fun way that I am actually recommending, but beware, Art the Clown makes Pennywise seem like Bozo.
Thank you, Erik, and happy Halloween.
Thank you, Angie.
Go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.